Chapter
NK
761, Show Mercy. Remember this breathing rhythm, try to adapt today. Su Feng said gently. Okay. Lu Waimong nodded obediently, then sat with Wu Qingyu. Tiwei Din rolled up her sleeve, calmly stood before Su Feng, and said coldly, "Come on. Keep breathing." Su Feng nodded slightly, placed his hand on her abdomen, and closed his eyes to feel the rhythm. Inhale, exhale. After half an hour, the Nan sisters, Tiwei Din, and Lu Wai Thursday stood quietly, trying to grasp the breathing rhythm Su Feng had taught. Su Feng, I seem to forget that rhythm. Wu Qingyu blushed, lifted her hem, and came before him. Cough, cough. Su Feng coughed twice, then said with a bitter smile, "No need to lift your clothes, I know your breathing rhythm." Ah. All right. She pursed her lips and lowered her hem. Follow my rhythm, inhale. He spoke softly. Okay. She concentrated, slightly parting her lips to control her breath. Hoo. Do you remember now? He asked. Wu Qingyu raised her hand with a no-problem gesture, afraid speaking would break her rhythm. Su Feng patted Nan Ruyu's head, smiling, "Very normal, just follow my rhythm." Okay. She exhaled lightly, moved by his care. Inhale. He reminded her. Who? Nan Ruyu calmed her spirit and followed. Su Feng. Lu Wai Thursday pursed her lips, about to speak. Inhale. He said helplessly. After half an hour, they adjusted several times, but breathing habits are hard to change, sleeping once might revert. This could only be improved by daily training. Su Feng, is breathing training only this? Van Han asked innocently. Of course not, there is volume training, breath control, all must be learned. He chuckled. All right. She smacked her lips. Now free practice, remember the rhythm well. At night we train flexibility. He waved his sleeve. Okay. They responded together. He turned away to build chairs and a bed. Finished. He brushed off wood chips, stood up, beside him a new big bed and 4 chairs. Hard work. Wu Qingyu rolled her eyes, then lightly punched his shoulder. Press here too. He sat enjoying. She glared, scolding, "You really think I'm your massage girl?" Cough, I didn't say that. He hurriedly denied. Oof. She snorted but kept pressing. All right, time for flexibility training. He tapped her hand, then walked to the yard. Su Feng, check me, did my breathing change? Van Han rushed over, holding his hand. All right. He pinched her cheek dotingly. Hoo. Not bad, but keep it even, be careful. He reminded. She smiled and nodded, I know. Good, let's train flexibility. He clapped, calling everyone. It begins. Lu Waimong clenched her fists, fearing the pain. Su Feng, please show mercy. Lu Wai Thursday smiled bitterly. The Nan sisters also nodded, not wanting to be bedridden again. Go. Su Feng frowned, nodded firmly. Really? Lu Waimong doubted, not believing him so kind. Of course really. He smiled wryly. Again stretching legs. She grimaced, but obediently stepped, left leg bent, right leg stretched. Press down, this time all can manage. He spoke lightly. Let me try. She slowly pressed down, legs straight. Tiwei Din followed, her body easily bending. So impressive. Nan Chengyu exclaimed, barely able to press, eyes aching. I can too. Lu Waimong rejoiced. This must be daily, or you will lose it. He warned. Okay. They all answered. He nodded satisfied, now stretching arms. Simple, Van Han, come here. He called gently. She obediently stepped forward. He held her hands, reminded, "It may hurt, endure." "Okay." She bit her lip, clenched her teeth. "Start." He pulled her arms behind her neck, slowly forcing, watching her expression. She clenched her teeth, pain sharper, then a crack sounded. She felt like arms dislocated, fingers trembling. "Ah!" She screamed in pain, face pale. "Enough, relax." He quickly released, restored her arms, gently massaged to ease pain. "Van Han, does it hurt?" Nan Ruyu asked innocently. "Actually not too much, just cannot lift my arms," Van Han said, trying but failing to move. Chapter 762, Wild Transformation Plan. "Do not worry, the pain will soon pass," Suo Fong comforted gently. "I was scared to death, I thought I would become disabled." The girls breathed a sigh of relief. Van Han apologized, "Do not worry, I still had sensation, I just lost control for a moment." "Good that nothing happened, otherwise I would beat Suo Fong." Lu Waimong pouted innocently. "So fierce?" Suo Fong teased. Lu Waimong gritted her teeth. "Yes, that fierce." "Do not worry, you cannot defeat him." Lu Wai Thursday spoke calmly. "Hum." Lu Waimong snorted. "All right, who is next?" Suo Fong sighed. These sisters were never quiet. "No one stretched the arm tendon?" he asked. Tai Vai Din shook her head softly. "I never learned this." "Be patient then," Suo Fong reminded, gripping her arm, pulling the tendon. Ah. Tai Vai Din frowned, enduring pain. Soon a cracking sound rang. Suo Fong released her arm, pressing gently to calm the muscle. "How do you feel?" No Tin Noyet asked with concern. "So strong, I cannot lift my arm," Van Han praised. "Next." Suo Fong flexed his fingers, eyes scanning. "I will." Nan Tan Nok stepped forward. Seeing her resolute face, Suo Fong laughed. "I will not take your life, stop looking like you beg." "Ha ha." Nan Tan Nok laughed. The pain was sharp, but still bearable. After nearly 20 minutes, all finished stretching, massaging shoulders on chairs. "Rest now, I will prepare dinner." Suo Fong stroked a girl's head, then carried the bed upstairs. He, I will help." No Tin Noyet smiled, carrying a chair. "This is not wild survival, it is wild transformation." Lu Waimong leaned on her sister, exhausted. "I think it is good, Mong's sister looks thinner." Van Han smiled. Lu Waimong straightened, "Really? I am thinner?" "Yes, I think so." Van Han nodded. "A thin camel is bigger than a fat horse," Lu Wai Thursday said softly. "It means you are still stronger than ordinary women," she explained. "Sister, I am not Lai Du, not swaying like that," Lu Waimong complained. "But your explanation also makes sense." Nan Nu Nok giggled. "Fine, Nu Nok, do you itch for trouble?" Lu Waimong glared. "No." Nan Nu Nok blushed, lowering her head. But after 2 days, the body did change, though not obvious. Nan Tan Nok said gently. "Simple, later ask Suo Fong to fetch stones, they will be gone fast." Van Han said brightly. "Yes, smart." Lu Waimong's eyes lit, then kissed the girl. "Mong's sister." Van Han blushed, lips tight. "Ha, could not resist, forgot it is Suo Fong's body." Lu Waimong teased. "Who said?" Van Han bowed shyly. Remembering the borrowed body, her face grew redder. "Ah? Van Han, do you imagine?" Lu Waimong asked curiously. "No." Van Han quickly fled. "I will see what Suo Fong is cooking." He was kissed?" Lu Waimong teased. "No." Van Han answered, climbing into the cabin. "Who?" She sighed. Why red-faced? Su Fong asked. Nothing, maybe too hot. Van Han said. Then drink more water, you drink too little. Su Fong spoke. Yes, I will drink now. Van Han smiled sweetly. Come, I will pour. No Tin Noyet called. Sister Tin Noyet, I cannot lift my arm. Van Han said shyly. Then let me feed you. No Tin Noyet reacted, placing bowl to her lips. Gulp gulp. Soon empty, she asked, more? No, if I drink more I cannot eat dinner. Van Han shook head. True, then let me help, soon dinner will be ready. No Tin Noyet patted chest, moving to kitchen. Van Han glanced at her curves, both inferior and envious. Su Fong, what should I do? No Tin Noyet asked. Wash the wild greens there. Su Fong pointed. Su Fong, tomorrow shall we fetch more stones? They are nearly gone. Van Han asked softly. Chapter 763, I swear. Brother, I said it. Yun Han's pretty face blushed as she spoke seriously. Oh come on, do I not know your character? Wu Tingyue rolled her eyes and smiled softly. Yun Han opened her mouth, unable to explain. Then let's head out, tomorrow morning after training we depart. Su Fong smiled indulgently. All right. Yun Han smiled brightly, her heart at ease. Su Fong chuckled, turned back to continue preparing dinner. When the girls were too tired from training, cooking naturally fell on him. After half an hour, steaming dishes were placed on the wooden table. Hey Tiendo, wash your hands and come eat. Wu Tingyue called from the window. Okay, coming. The reply came from Yen Qingyu and others downstairs. A few minutes later, the girls sat around the wooden table. Su Fong, I cannot hold chopsticks. Yun Han pouted, tilting her head at him. I will feed you. Su Fong smiled gently, picked up her porcelain bowl, filled it with meat, blew on it and brought it to her lips. Ah! Yun Han shyly opened her mouth, eating happily. I cannot hold chopsticks either. Lu Yiming looked at him expectantly. Wu Tingyue rolled her eyes, lifted Lu Yiming's bowl and said softly, Here, I will feed you. Lu Yishu pursed her lips, glanced at her sister, then tried to use chopsticks but her fingers trembled, unable to hold steady. She could not even pick up food. T. Whiting calmly stuffed meat into his mouth, then took Lu Yishu's chopsticks, picked meat and brought it to her lips. The Yin sisters glanced at each other, tried chopsticks too but even basic moves failed. Here, open wide. Su Fong used his left hand to hold another pair, picked meat and brought it to Yen Ruyu's lips. Ah! Yen Ruyu was stunned, staring at his strange pose, both hands holding chopsticks, feeding others while eating himself. Su Fong, your left hand can use chopsticks? Lu Yiming asked in surprise. Yes. Su Fong replied casually. In fact, it was thanks to the 7-day gift pack from the system that made his left hand flexible like his right. Su Feng's lips twitched, he asked back, Then are you the baby? Cough, yes, I am the baby. Lu Yiming nodded without shame. Later everyone will call you auntie, still a baby? NK Books. Lu Yishu sneered, teasing her sister. Lu Yiming's face stiffened, she snapped, You are an aunt too, then Aunt Shu? Aunt Shu? Lu Yishu's lips trembled, wanting to knock her sister's head, but helpless now. All right, eat quickly. Su Fong cut off their quarrel with a smile. Su Fong, you eat too. Yun Han's small mouth full of food made her voice muffled. Yen Ruyu nodded innocently, Yes, don't just feed us, eat yourself. Su Fong put meat into his mouth. Yen Ruyu froze, her ears flushing red. Ruyu, very hot? Lu Yishu asked in surprise. Yen Ruyu's eyes wandered, a little. Then open the window, it will be cooler. Wu Tingyue said, then pushed the window wide. Dinner lasted almost an hour. Let me press your arms, then soak in the bath. By tomorrow it will be better. Su Feng cracked his knuckles. Okay. The girls answered. The first was the young girl. Next is me. Lu Yimeng quickly raised her hand. Then me. Wu Tingyue followed. I will be the fourth. Lu Yishu pursed her lips. The Yen sisters glanced, then looked at T. Whiting. Ruyu fifth, Xingyu sixth, I am last. T. Whiting said calmly. Okay. Yen Ruyu smiled, her dimples making T. Whiting gaze. Time passed, each girl came from behind the screen, their hands moving normally though still sore. I will lie here. Lu Yimeng lay on the big bed, full of hope. I will bathe first. Yun Han took clothes and toiletries downstairs. Then, every 20 minutes, Su Feng massaged each girl's shoulders and arms. Come, sit, I will help you too. Yun Han returned from bathing, stood behind him, placed her hands on his shoulders. It is nothing serious. Yun Han spoke softly. Su Feng held her hands, rubbing her fingers with a smile. Your fingers are still trembling. It is fine. Yun Han's face blushed. Her little hand trembled slightly. Do you feel it is too hard? Su Feng held her shoulders, letting her lean on his chest. No, just a little tired. Yun Han shook her head honestly. Su Feng rested his chin on her head, softly asked, later it will be harder, will you persist? Yun Han did not hesitate, said gently, you are so strong, I cannot drag you back. Silly girl, even if you know nothing, with me here you will be safe. Su Feng tapped her head fondly. Inside the room, viewers flooded the screen with comments. Have to admire, Su Feng really knows how to deal with girls. Netizens nowadays are too sharp, words cut deep. Chapter 764, Is it really the first kiss? The creaking sound came loudly from the roof. No. Van Han's eyebrows twitched, then she opened her eyes, her long lashes trembling, her gaze hazy. The girl gently sat up, turned her head to look at Su Feng breathing evenly, her beautiful face slowly blushing. She glanced at the other three big beds, the girls were all sleeping soundly. Just as she was about to lean down, Su Feng suddenly opened his eyes, raised his hand and pressed her head down. No NGO. Van Han's face flushed, bewildered. After a while, he released her, smiling at her shyness. Weren't you asleep? Van Han avoided his gaze, like a guilty kitten caught red-handed. He smiled gently, if I say I just woke, will you believe? No. She blushed, glared at him, then rushed off the bed, put on shoes and ran downstairs. The feeling, not bad. He laughed to himself. She sat stunned by the stream, mind chaotic, as if her secret was found. He came behind her, saw her dazed, and asked, What are you thinking? She stammered, Nothing. Really? He placed his hand on her head, smiling, Why, unhappy? Then why your twisted face? He squatted down, pinched her cheeks to calm her. Just a little unprepared, that was the first kiss. She bit her lip, as if savoring it. First kiss? I recall in the orphanage, you kissed me too, was that not? He teased. Really? I don't remember. Her face grew redder. Of course, I recall, once in the garden, once more. He lifted his fingers to count. She hurriedly covered his mouth, enough, stop. No NGO. He blinked, eyes filled with laughter. Your memory is freakish, I forgot it all. She glared, then remembered the embarrassing times. Back then she copied scenes on TV, curious, used him to test. Later she worried, since the matron said boys and girls kissing meant pregnancy. Naive, she believed, until half a year later learned it was false, then relieved. Remember? He pulled her hand down, smiling, so after many kisses, why still shy? When little doesn't count, we didn't know. She pouted. That, not the same. She lowered her head, voice soft. Raise your head, he said gently. She puzzled, but lifted. Again. He tilted his lips, held her chin, leaned and kissed. No. Her eyes widened, lashes trembling, then she responded. After a while, he let go, asked softly, familiar? If not, once more. He laughed, as you wish. This time slower. In the room at dawn, the audience thrilled. Finally, after half a year, they kissed. My lowly. Why do I smile like an ant? Next, go up the mountain, hurry. All right, familiar. She blushed, pushed him away, soon Mom will wake. Cough, fine. He still unsatisfied, licked his lips, stood stretching. Creak creak. NK Clearly books. The bird flapped down from the roof, tilting its head for food. Wait, I'll get meat. He stroked its neck, turned upstairs. Who? She breathed lightly, glanced at the drone, face blushing again. She tried to calm, turned to wash her face. Soon he came down, placed meat before the bird. Creak creak. It grabbed the meat, flew back up. Creak. The door opened, Nan Noonak rubbed her eyes, followed by her sister. Just woke? Van Haan smiled. How do you both feel? He asked gently. Much better, not affecting daily life. Nan Tan Nak answered softly. Nan Noonak nodded, whispered, yes, no need to feed me neat. Van Haan rinsed, stood smiling, you talk, I'll prepare breakfast. All right, after washing I'll help. Nan Tan Nak said softly. No rush. She waved, heading upstairs. Need to make new brushes for Tin Noyet and the others. He now recalled, last time they took their brushes, now returned empty-handed, so must make anew. Chapter 765, Boarding first then buying tickets later. The girls got out of bed one by one, crouching by the stream to wash their faces. No Tin Noyet brushed her teeth with homemade paste and asked, are we all going out together today? Of course, it is not a hunt, going together is more fun. Lu Waimong replied with her toothbrush in her mouth. This time it is not fun, it is to move the stone pepper. Lu Wai Thursday corrected. Lu Waimong waved her hand carelessly, forget the details. But details decide everything. Lu Wai Thursday replied calmly. Clack clack clack. She rinsed her mouth, stood up and left. Inside the cabin, the Nan sisters helped prepare breakfast while So Fong brushed his teeth with a rabbit fur brush. So Fong, is there training today? Lu Wai Thursday asked softly. Of course, morning practice is necessary, I will wait for you to finish brushing. So Fong smiled. A good day starts with breakfast. Lu Waimong entered, followed by Tay Vai Din and No Tin Noyet. I thought we eat first? Lu Waimong froze. So Fong laughed, breakfast will take half an hour, we can train first. Fine. Lu Waimong sighed, leaving her things. Van Han, Tin Noyet, take care of breakfast, Noonak and Tan Nak come with me to train. So Fong instructed. No problem, leave it to me. Van Han laughed, secretly relieved. The Nan sisters put down their knives and followed him. I will help cut meat. No Tin Noyet rolled up her sleeves with a grin. She nudged Van Han with her elbow and teased, relieved, right? Escaped morning training. Van Han smiled bitterly, that phrase sounds too much. No Tin Noyet patted her, your face shows survival after disaster. Really? Van Han blushed. Of course. No Tin Noyet insisted. If you dislike training, tell So Fong, he will not force you. He promised to protect me, but I also want to grow stronger, sometimes I just feel lazy. Van Han stuck out her tongue. No Tin Noyet sighed, having such a wife, So Fong must have saved the world. I am not his wife yet. Van Han blushed more. It is mutual, do not be nervous. Van Han held her hand. No Tin Noyet smiled softly. Marriage must wait 4 more years, you are too young. Yes, 4 years can change many things. Van Han said. Do not worry, board first then buy the ticket later, the rest is fine. No Tin Noyet hinted. Board first then buy? What does that mean? Van Han asked blankly. Ah, God is teaching bad ideas. Board first then buy is the key, remember it. Alright, I will do that. When it comes to women, Tin Noyet is right. Ahem, but first. No Tin Noyet whispered in her ear. Van Han looked puzzled, then turned red, stepping back. Ah, that is not possible. Ahem, it is only the last resort. No Tin Noyet covered her mouth and laughed. Just understand, no need to say. Mum. Van Han nodded, her face red, thinking about the phrase. That is for later, now you must protect yourself, holding hands is fine, but wait until you grow. No Tin Noyet tapped her forehead. Van Han smiled, I know. Good. No Tin Noyet continued, always remember safety. Stop, you embarrass me. Van Han's blush deepened. Curious, she asked, do you have much experience? What? No, these are words from seniors, I am still pure. No Tin Noyet rolled her eyes. She added, protecting yourself is most important. Thank you. Van Han said sincerely. They do not dare to touch me, or I will ask Vi Din to beat them. No Tin Noyet chuckled. Yes, let her beat them. Van Han nodded. Yes. Van Han washed bowls and thought about dumplings. How many fillings? No Tin Noyet asked. 3, simple, venison with wild greens, tuna with mushrooms, and taro with venison. Van Han replied. Did I misunderstand the word simple? No Tin Noyet laughed. Hee, it is easy. Van Han smiled shyly. Chapter 766, Hard-Working Staff. Lu Waimong's legs trembled, her nose twitched as she muttered, I smell meat. Your nose is so sharp, how come I did not notice anything? So Fong said with a laugh, since he himself smelled nothing. So Fong, when you went hunting with Waimong, did you rely on her sense of smell to find prey? Lu Wai Thursday glanced at her sister and asked softly. So Fong froze, then laughed. Was this implying Waimong's sense of smell could be used for hunting? Poof. Lu Waimong snorted angrily, glaring at her sister. Keep holding on. So Fong clapped and encouraged. Okay. The girls responded together. Among them, only Te Bai Din was most at ease, standing stance was like eating daily rice to her. 613. Vai Din, lower your center, tuck your toes inward. So Fong observed and adjusted her posture slightly. Te Vai Din quietly adjusted, then found herself tiring faster. Shocked, she looked at So Fong. Do not be surprised, your old posture was fine. So Fong said softly, but this posture now works better. Te Vai Din pressed her lips, nodded, and felt more respect for So Fong, a feeling she once only had for martial seniors. So Fong, is morning training just standing stance? Nan Tan Not could not resist asking, her body already trembling. Of course, if you want other training I do not mind. So Fong smiled faintly. Soon, breath and disorder, she sat down, then quietly got up and resumed. Soon after, the Nan sisters could not hold on, sitting on chairs to rest. After sitting, stretch your tendons, both legs and arms. So Fong gently said. Yes. Nan Nu Nok sweetly replied. Time passed slowly, they shifted from standing stance to stretching, and this was only the beginning, the harder training had not even started. After more than half an hour, No Tin Noyet poked her head out of the window and called cheerfully, So Fong, take everyone up for breakfast. Okay, let us finish the set. So Fong smiled in response. On the table, dumplings with dipping sauce were ready. Quick, sit down, they are getting cold. Van Han laughed and urged. I am starving, I will not be polite. Waimong quickly sat, grabbed chopsticks and stuffed dumplings into her mouth. Tasty. She gave a thumbs up while chewing and eating more. Slow down, no one will fight you for it. Lu Wai Thursday frowned. Got it. Waimong muttered vaguely. Everyone laughed. That breakfast lasted more than half an hour, faces full of satisfaction. I will tidy and prepare things to go out. Van Han said gently. Just bring some bamboo baskets and sacks. So Fong reminded. I know. She replied, but she still packs salted meat, flint, salt, oil. So Fong shook his head bitterly, she always worried too much. Let us wash dishes. Nantan Nok stood and gathered bowls. Why Thursday also stood to help, carrying dishes downstairs with her sisters. Nearly 20 minutes later, they finished and prepared to leave. Ro Rong, today you stay home, do not run off again. Before leaving, So Fong turned and called. Creak creak. Ro Rong flapped wings twice. Go. So Fong waved and led everyone out through the back. Be careful, do not eat poisonous grass. Lu Wai Thursday reminded. I know, I asked So Fong, this kind is harmless, just common weeds. Wai Mong waved her hand. Good. Wai Thursday nodded. Later you will say that again. So Fong said gently, not yet angry. Indeed, after more than an hour, sweat dripped on everyone, hair stuck to sweaty foreheads. I take back what I said earlier. Nu Nok panted. Here, drink some water. Van Han took a bamboo tube from the basket, opened it and handed it. Thank you. Nu Nok obediently drank, then passed it to her sister. Van Han took out 2 more, gave to the Nan sisters and No Tin Noyet, then took her own. Gulp gulp. She drank peppermint water with ice inside, so cool and refreshing. She handed the tube to So Fong, gently, you drink too. All right. He drank and felt coolness spreading inside. Tan Nok wiped sweat, asked softly, how much longer must we go? 3 hours. Her lips trembled, not expecting so far. No Tin Noyet fanned herself and sighed, I regret coming along. Haha, regret is useless, better work hard. Wai Mong laughed. Do not worry, leave survival to So Fong. Van Han patted his shoulder and smiled gently. Hard-working staff. Nu Nok covered her mouth and giggled. So Fong laughed, do we need to rest? No, let us keep going. Tan Nok nodded, since the girls agreed she could not argue. Half an hour more. Wai Mong cracked her neck. Anyone brought paper, I want to wipe sweat. No Tin Noyet sighed. Chapter 767, Drought Kills, Flood Kills? Thank you. No Tin Noyet took the handkerchief and wiped the sweat from her face. Lu Wai Thursday tilted her head to look at her inside. Tin Noyet, your skin is so beautiful. No Tin Noyet crumpled the handkerchief, hesitated a little, then stuffed it into her pocket inside. This is all accumulated money. Lu Wai Thursday pursed her lips, thinking that good skin indeed needs care. How much money does it cost? Nan Nu Nok instinctively asked. I will calculate for you. No Tin Noyet stretched out her hand, counted with her fingers and nagged, the face must have a mask every day, moisturizing, whitening, anti-aging. Each mask costs more than 100 coins, a year has 365 days. Then water lotion, essence, cream, eye cream, sunblock. Each type costs 1,000 to 5,000 coins, on average 1 bottle a month, and many other cosmetics too. She paused then continued, besides skincare, there are also health supplements for the skin, like fish oil, raisins. Nan Nu Nok opened her mouth in shock, only hearing the names and prices, roughly estimated, more than 10,000 coins a month. Too expensive. Van Han exclaimed. Nan Tan Nok nodded with a wry smile, indeed, good skin has its price. Drought kills, flood kills. Lu Mong muttered. Everyone twitched their lips, not understanding her way of saying. Ahem, ignore that detail. Lu Mong felt embarrassed under their laughing looks. Actually, no need to be so fancy, just sleep early, wake early, eat less greasy and spicy food, the skin will stay good. No Tin Noyet pinched Van Han's cheek and smiled softly, like Van Han, her skin is even better than mine. How could it be better than yours? My lip is peeling. Van Han said softly. Just a little more hydration will help. No Tin Noyet leaned closer and said sincerely. Hydration means washing more? Nan Nu Nok asked, confused. Of course not, that will make it worse. You must use hydrating products, like masks, toners, essences, they work very well. No Tin Noyet explained with a smile. Alright, I do not know much. Nan Nu Nok pursed her lips. So Fong poked her cheek and gently said, at night put some honey on your face, it will also nourish. Do not worry, use it and get more. So Fong doted. I also think women should learn to take care of themselves. No Tin Noyet nodded firmly. Talk at night. Van Han touched her face, women love beauty, but here on Huin Noyet Island what can they do? She missed the cheap jar of dat bao in her rented room, just over 10 coins, very good in winter. All right. The girls replied together. See the green apple tree, walk 20 more minutes to reach the place of Pepperstone. Lu Mong breathed out. So good. No Tin Noyet also relaxed. So Fong reminded, control your breathing, remember the rhythm? Yes. Lu Mong quickly adjusted. Go, hold on a little more. So Fong smiled and went ahead. After about 20 minutes, a mound appeared. Behind that pile of rocks, full of pepperstone. Lu Mong shouted. Careful, watch the weeds. So Fong quickly warned. Got it. Lu Mong did not look back, just waved. Wait for me. Nan Nu Nok pulled her sister to chase. Let us go too. Van Han pulled So Fong's hand. Yes. So Fong held her hand tight, striding toward the rocks. When he led the girl, No Tin Noyet, and Te Vai Din there, the others were already squatting and digging. This piece is huge, can last long. Nan Nu Nok dug the sand and pulled out a pepperstone as big as her palm. Mine is also big. Lu Mong raised a piece as big as half a head. Nan Nu Nok gaped and muttered, yours looks bigger. Nothing to compare, if so then see who digs more. Lu Thursday glared and whispered. Lu Mong clapped and decided, fine, then compete who digs more. So Fong only smiled, this was not worth competing. You all dig first, I will look around. He put down the basket and picked up the bow. Be careful, do not go far. Van Han quickly warned. I will go too. Te Vai Din frowned at the girls digging, then followed So Fong. They headed to a patch of forest nearby. Do you find digging pepperstones boring? He asked quietly. Te Vai Din answered flatly, a little. She preferred martial arts and exploration, not digging. Then let us go, maybe find something new. So Fong waved and walked into the forest. They walked 4 or 5 minutes into dense weeds, vines, and bushes. Crack, crack. A bit hard to walk. So Fong muttered, drew his machete to clear the vines, cutting a narrow path. Te Vai Din followed, unarmed, so she could only observe around, hoping to spot something new. Chapter 768, The Olive Tree. Sua Fong swung the chopping knife, cleanly cutting the annoying vines. He and Te Vai Din had already walked half an hour into the forest. Te Vai Din looked around and calmly said, there is nothing of value. Yes, we should return now, if we delay more the girls will worry. Sua Fong sighed, about to turn back. Crack! He lowered his head, moved his straw shoe, and picked up a round seed with 2 sharp ends. A seed? Te Vai Din did not know what it was. This seems to be an olive pit. Suo Fong observed with surprise. Tai Din immediately connected the thought, guessing, if it is an olive pit, then nearby there should be olive trees? He gripped the chopping knife, his voice deep. Go, let us continue forward. Tai Din quietly followed. They walked about 15 minutes, a faint fragrance drifted in the air, the distinct scent of olives. Look, there are indeed olive trees. Suo Fong smiled with joy. Ahead stood 4 or 5 tall olive trees, full of oval fruits the size of a thumb. So many fruits. Tai Din raised her head, seeing olives all over. Yes, this is truly good. Suo Fong smiled. But I am curious, do olives bear fruit this season? Tai Din wondered. The special climate of Huen Noyet Island nourishes them, perhaps the olive trees adapted and changed. Suo Fong explained gently. So what now? Should we pick them? Tai Din rarely asked more. Suo Fong squatted, picked an olive from the ground, rubbed it on his clothes, and put it in his mouth, sighing, let us go back to find the girls. Tonight we stay here, tomorrow we return. Crunch! The olive cracked, sour and bitter with fragrance. The more he chewed the better it tasted. Tai Din nodded. She understood his thought. Since the place was far, if not today then another time would be difficult. They walked back along the path, after half an hour reached the forest edge, where the girls waited. Phew, finally you return. Van Han saw them safe and sighed in relief. Did you find anything new? Lu Waimong asked. You were not hurt? Nan Tan Nok worried. No injury, we found some olive trees, so we were late. Suo Fong laughed. Of course, quite many. He nodded. NK Books. Yes, tonight we stay here. He decided. All right. Van Han revealed a relieved expression. She felt fortunate bringing salt, oil, and preserved meat. Leave these stones here, then use the empty sack for olives. Suo Fong looked at the pile of stones filling 3 bamboo baskets and 2 sacks. Okay, I will empty this sack. Lu Waimong dumped it. Let's go. Suo Fong lifted a basket with water and meat, holding the girl's hand, heading deeper into the forest. The girls followed, curious about the scenery. After half an hour, they arrived safely under the olive trees. Wow! Are olives tasty? Lu Waimong looked up at the oval fruits, asking, do they taste the same as processed olives? She had never eaten olives, only seen them in big supermarkets. Processed olives were used in cooking, for frying or other dishes, especially with beans. Not the same, I prefer the original taste. Nantan Nok shook her head. Processed olives lose their sour flavor, the taste changes. Suo Fong jumped, pulled down some olives, wiped them on his clothes, and opened his hand. Here, taste them. The rest were high up, needing climbing or poles to reach. Look at this green color, I think it will be bitter. Lu Waimong pursed her lips, sniffed the fruit, whispering, but the fragrance is nice. Crunch! She put it in her mouth, first licking with no taste, then biting. Bitterness spread, making her frown. You tricked me, this is not tasty, only bitter. Lu Waimong frowned. That is because you are not used to it, chew longer and it becomes fragrant. Nantan Nok laughed. Really? Lu Waimong doubted, but chewed on. I will try too. Van Han took one, hesitated then ate. No Tin Noyet also put one in her mouth, chewed twice and praised, truly delicious. She liked the taste, already familiar. Crunch! Van Han frowned as the bitterness spread. Chapter 769, Rich Experience. Lu Waimong bit her lips, she chewed and swallowed the olive, removing the flesh from the pit and savoring it again and again. As time passed, she noticed the bitterness disappeared, replaced by a sweet fragrance that grew richer with every bite. Lu Waimong's eyes trembled in surprise. She said, it really gets more fragrant the more I chew. Right, I did not lie to you. Nantan Nok smiled. Lu Waimong quickly nodded in praise. Delicious. Luai Thursday also put an olive into her mouth. She could not resist and placed another, this time tasting slowly, feeling the sourness at the beginning was also nice. Crunch! So Fong also ate an olive and explained, the olive is a good thing, full of rich nutrition. Olives contain protein, carbohydrates, fat, and vitamin C, plus calcium, phosphorus, iron, and many minerals. Vitamin C is much higher than in common fruits, 10 times that of apples, 5 times that of pears and peaches. Calcium is also abundant and easy to absorb, suitable for women and children. In winter and spring, eating 2 or 3 fresh olives daily prevents respiratory infections. Folk even say winter and spring olives rival ginseng. Olives also clear heat, detoxify, reduce phlegm, quench thirst, very good for sore throat, coughing blood, or diarrhea. So these must be expensive in the market. Van Han said in surprise. There are many varieties, common ones cost just a few dozen coins. No Tin Noyet answered while spitting the pit. Still not cheap. Van Han muttered. Be careful, do not go to the tip, branches are too small. So Fong reminded quickly. He replied firmly, got it. Then I will go to another tree. Lu Wai Mong turned to leave. No, stay here honestly. Lu Wai Thursday quickly held her, speaking gravely, the tree is high, without So Fong you should not climb. Lu Wai Thursday calmly looked at her sister, silent. Fine, I will not go, do not look at me like that. Lu Wai Mong pouted. Sister Mong, listen to Sister Thursday, the tree is too tall, climbing is dangerous. Van Han softly said. But I also want to climb. Lu Wai Mong mumbled. Nan Tan Nok laughed, I have more experience than you, I often followed my father into the forest to pick wild fruits. Let my sister climb, she is very good at it. Nan Nu Nok said. Seeing others still trying to stop her, Nan Tan Nok quickly said, do not worry, I tied a rope at my waist, nothing will happen. Alright, be careful, we will wait below. Van Han reminded. Okay. Nan Tan Nok smiled, tied the rope around her waist, and climbed another olive tree. Then I will tie a rope and climb too. Lu Wai Mong shouted. Lu Wai Thursday only shook her head, no. Humph. Lu Wai Mong pouted, stood below Nan Tan Nok to help her safely. Alright, you pick and throw down. Van Han responded, together with No Tin Noyet they spread a sack like a net. Thud thud thud. So Fong threw olives down accurately into the sack. On the other side, Lu Wai Mong emptied her bamboo basket, ready to collect olives. Sister, be careful. Nan Nu Nok called. Got it. Nan Tan Nok tied the rope on a branch and carefully picked olives. Crunch! Lu Wai Thursday picked one from the sack, rubbed it on her clothes, and put it in her mouth. Sister Thursday, I want one too. Van Han stared. Lu Wai Thursday smiled, cleaned one, and put it into her mouth, here. Ah! No Tin Noyet opened her mouth wide. Lu Wai Thursday also gave her one. Crunch! Van Han chewed while adjusting the sack to catch olives. Time passed, after more than half an hour, the sack was full of olives, each as big as a thumb. So Fong stood on a branch, looked up, but the higher branches were too thin to support him. So Fong, come down, you cannot reach the top ones. Van Han called. NK Books. I know. So Fong gave up, there were other trees nearby, no need to risk. He climbed down, dusted his hands, and smiled, how much did we pick? About more than 10. Catties. Van Han estimated, the sack was heavy. She turned to look at Nan Tan Nok climbing another tree and softly asked, counting her harvest, about more than 20 catties, should we pick more? Yes, the sky is still early, pick more, later we will not need to return. So Fong smiled. All right. Van Han nodded gently. Meanwhile, Nan Tan Nok moved to another tree, tied the rope, and continued picking. Chapter 770, A Thrilling Game. Crackling. From the campfire came the popping sound of burning wood, sparks flying. Van Han and So Fong sat with the others around the fire, with an iron pot on top cooking dinner. Luckily Van Han brought meat, otherwise tonight we would have gone vegetarian. Lu Waimong praised, admiring the girl's foresight. It is only enough for one meal. Van Han said softly. All right. Van Han replied crisply. Crunch. Lu Waimong chewed olives, her mouth busy. So Fong reminded, although olives are good, you cannot eat too many. The last one. Lu Waimong said innocently. Lu Wai Thursday frowned, it was the third time she had heard that from her sister today. She pinched her sister's cheek, scolding, if you get a stomachache, I will not go with you to the latrine. Then let So Fong accompany me. Lu Waimong answered carelessly. Shameless, unmatched in the world. Lu Wai Thursday muttered. When we return I will make ginger salted olives, the taste should be good. Nan Tan Nok said gently. Ginger salted olives? What is that? Van Han asked curiously. Nan Tan Nok explained, it is a dish made from southern ginger, salt and olives. Lu Waimong chewed olives and scoffed, sounds like dark cuisine. It is very tasty. Nan Nu Nok said, swallowing saliva. But we do not have southern ginger, can we use wild ginger? Van Han asked. Perhaps, I never tried. Nan Tan Nok hesitated, she only used southern ginger, never wild. Van Han nodded thoughtfully, then tomorrow we try. I do not know how to cook olives. Van Han stuck out her tongue shyly. Anyone knows? Lu Wai Thursday asked. No, but the bottle I saw at Cabbage, we do not have it. Nan Nu Nok whispered. Then there is no way. Van Han sighed. Eating raw is fine too. Lu Waimong shrugged, popping another olive. Lu Wai Thursday gave a helpless look, unable to resist. Clang clang. In the pot the stew boiled, steam rising. Van Han added washed wild greens, stirred then placed the pot on a rock. She tasted a piece of meat, it is ready. Not much though. So Fong said. Only half a bowl each. No Tin Noyet rubbed her belly. If only we had a boar. Lu Waimong imagined, scanning the dark woods. No Tin Noyet laughed, dreaming is beautiful. Eat the meat first, later we cook wild vegetable soup. Van Han shared the stew. Only 2 or 3 bites and gone. Lu Waimong looked at her bowl, half empty. Think of it as dieting. No Tin Noyet ate. Lu Waimong pinched her waist, I am not fat. Though little, all enjoyed. After stew, the girl cooked wild vegetable soup, not full but not hungry. We must keep watch. Lu Waimong reclined. So Fong chewed olives, chuckled, if no one, I will. Tonight we must guard? Nan Tan Nok asked. Of course, 2 people a group, take turns, alright? Lu Waimong proposed. She looked at So Fong then her sister, said, I want a pair with sister. Your face shows no sincerity. Lu Wai Thursday scolded. Oh sister. Lu Waimong clung playfully. Go away, too hot. Lu Wai Thursday laughed. Lu Waimong giggled, no, I want to stay close. Lu Waimong, what are you doing? Want to die? Lu Wai Thursday pinched her cheek, trying to free. Ha ha ha. No Tin Noyet and others laughed. Then I pair with Vi Din, we are used to it. No Tin Noyet leaned on Tay Vi Din. All right. So Fong shrugged, unconcerned, whoever guards does not matter, he always senses danger first. Tin Noyet and Vi Din guard first 2 hours, when moonlight hits that branch, wake me, I guard next 2 hours. Lu Waimong arranged excitedly. She divided based on danger levels of night. Finally, So Fong and Van Han guarded at dawn, Nan's sisters before sunrise, safest. Is it fine? Lu Waimong asked. No problem. No Tin Noyet waved. Yes. Nan Nu Nok nodded. So be it, be careful. So Fong stroked the girl's hair, thinking he could guard alone if not opposed. All right. Everyone answered. Still early, want to play something thrilling? Lu Waimong asked mysteriously. Play what? Nan Nu Nok asked curiously. Spirit Pen, do you play? Lu Waimong asked. Play your ghostly head. Lu Wai Thursday smacked her sister. Chapter 771, Caught a Loyal Fan. Pen Fairy? What is that? Nan Nu Nok's eyes were full of doubt, only growing stronger. It is just an unreliable game, related to ghosts. If you do not want to lose sleep at midnight, you may try it. So Fong shook his head with a bitter smile. Then forget it, I will not play Pen Fairy. Nan Nu Nok shook her head quickly, she feared ghostly things most. Books. That is just superstition, I watched the movie, in the end it is fake. No Tin Noyet shrank her neck and spoke. Sister Tin Noyet, if you said that without shrinking your neck, maybe it would be more convincing. Lu Waimong teased. I am just cold. No Tin Noyet's cheeks flushed as she explained. I was about to take off my clothes, Sister Tin Noyet, how can you still be cold? Nan Nu Nok naively added. No Tin Noyet was speechless, tongue-tied. Forget Pen Fairy, at night it is too scary. So Fong waved his hand, he had watched the movie, he did not believe in spirits, he only feared the girls would be frightened. Van Han's beautiful eyes turned, she suddenly said. How about Sister Tin Noyet sings a song? Yes, there is a diva here, I almost forgot. Lu Waimong's eyes shone bright, she spoke excitedly. Tin Noyet, sing one song. The Nan sisters also looked at No Tin Noyet with expectant eyes, full of excitement. Alright, what song do you want to hear? No Tin Noyet agreed readily. Sponge, sing that. Van Han quickly raised her hand. Alright. No Tin Noyet nodded, cleared her throat, then a melodious voice came out. Under the sun, bubbles are shining. Nan Nu Nok opened her little mouth, face flushed, tugging her sister's hand. So nice. Nan Ton Nok's face was serious. No Tin Noyet's voice was captivating, though there was no music, it still enchanted the listeners. Saying you love me, if you deceive me, I would rather you be silent. No Tin Noyet pursed her lips, face full of enjoyment. Clap clap clap. So good. Nan Nu Nok shouted excitedly, her hands clapping red. As long as you like it. No Tin Noyet said shyly, she rarely sang, without music it always felt a bit strange. Like it a lot. The Nan sisters nodded together. What else do you want to hear? No Tin Noyet waved her hand boldly. Let me think. Van Han pursed her lips, searching for a familiar song. Can you sing May the World's Beauty Intertwine with You? Nan Nu Nok asked timidly. Ah, you also heard that song? No Tin Noyet was surprised. Yes, I accidentally heard it, I want to hear Sister Tin Noyet sing it. Nan Nu Nok blushed, her face full of focus. No problem, I can sing that. No Tin Noyet smiled gently. She cleared her throat, recalled the lyrics, then sang softly again. Again and again using time, midnight stars, like wandering companions. Everyone listened quietly, gradually immersed in the melody, the song was full of emotion. A few minutes later, the singing stopped. I like this one more. Lu Wai Thursday clapped and praised. She stopped, her face full of admiration. So envious of people who can sing. No Tin Noyet smiled. That is heaven's gift. Still in preparation, it will only start at the end of the year. No Tin Noyet said gently. At that time, when you finish the contest, you must come to hear me sing. Yes, definitely. May nodded, her little face serious. I will go too, even if no one calls me. Nan Nu Nok raised her hand excitedly. Seems today we caught a loyal fan. No Tin Noyet stroked Nan Nu Nok's head. Nan Ton Nok shyly said. Me too. That is good, at that time you all come, I will keep front row tickets for you. No Tin Noyet patted her chest confidently. Okay. All the girls answered together, then laughed. To know you all, it is wonderful. Nan Nu Nok's eyes grew wet, she said sincerely, she never thought one day she could chat so close with her idol. Come, let me hug you. No Tin Noyet opened her arms. Thank you, Sister Tin Noyet. Nan Nu Nok was stunned, then threw herself into her arms. No Tin Noyet patted her back gently, encouraged. Keep going, win the contest and all will be good. I want a hug too. Lu Wai Mong pursed her lips, joined in, hugging them. Nan Ton Nok also leaned in, then Van Han hugged too. So Fong smiled, stood up, opened his arms to surround everyone. Tai Vai Din hesitated, then put her hand on So Fong's shoulder, half leaning, half hugging. Right in the room, viewers flooded comments. Wow, so heartwarming. I want a hug too, envy So Fong hugging the goddess. Come, let me hug you, a straightforward hug with no barrier. Upstairs, I suspect you are driving, but I have no evidence. Oh, I am suffocating. Nan Nu Nok's weak voice came from the crowd. No Tin Noyet struggled, her voice stifled. I also cannot breathe, let me out. As soon as they spoke, the gentle atmosphere disappeared. Tai Vai Din pretended nothing happened, released her hand, sat back. Cough cough, are you all right? So Fong let go, pulling the girl beside him. The Lu sisters awkwardly let go, turned back to sit by the fire. Phew, tired. No Tin Noyet panted, smiled wryly. No problem, just sweaty. Chapter 772, Two Sneaky Eaters. It's nothing, let me take a breath. No Tin Noyet casually said. So Fong patted his hands gently, speaking softly. If you are tired, you can sleep first, it is not early now. Ah. Lu Wai Mong yawned, muttering. Hearing you say that, I feel sleepy. She stood up, arranged the dry grass, then lay down, hands under her head, beautiful eyes gazing into the night. All right, sleep peacefully. No Tin Noyet softly replied. Lu Wai Thursday lay down beside her sister. Ah. Van Han yawned, covering her mouth, then turned to So Fong. So Fong affectionately tapped her nose, tenderly said. Sleep. Van Han nodded, face flushed, voice like a mosquito. Yes, will you stay with me? Of course. A smile sparkled in So Fong's eyes, he turned, lay beside the tree, stretched his arm toward her, whispering. Lie down. Yes. Van Han blushed, shyly curled into his arm, body pressed against his. By the fire, the Lu and Nan sisters had fallen asleep. Are you tired? No Tin Noyet added logs to the fire, then asked. If sleepy, close your eyes for a while. Me? I'm not sleepy. She paused, realizing the question. She drew on the ground with a twig, tossed it into the fire, then asked. Do you feel bored? A little. Tai Vai Din nodded. I don't know what to do. No Tin Noyet stretched, then sat back down, glanced at the sleeping six, her face a bit uneasy. Soon her eyelids drooped. Aha! She yawned, struggling to stay awake. Tai Vai Din tilted her head, gently said. You should sleep first, I will watch. No, then you will be even more bored. No Tin Noyet firmly refused. She stood up, took an olive twig from the bag, rubbed it on her clothes, and bit it. Crunch! The bitter taste filled her mouth, dispersing drowsiness. Whew! She exhaled. Finally awake. Give me some. Tai Vai Din reached out. Here. No tin Noyet shared half. Crunch. Tavai Din chewed slowly, savoring. Crunch. A chill ran down No tin Noyet's back. She turned quickly, doubting her ears. What is it? Tavai Din asked. Nothing, maybe I misheard. She forced a smile. Tavai Din discreetly handed the twig back, then lit another fire half a meter behind them. Wiping her hands, she whispered. Now safe. Yes. No tin Noyet smiled, returned the twig. They shared a quiet smile. Time passed, the moon drifted across the sky. Gurgle. A stomach rumbled, she held her belly, pitifully said. Sister Vi Din, I'm hungry. Me too. Tavai Din sighed. No tin Noyet opened the basket. Seems no food left. Eat more olives. Tavai Din said. That only makes us hungrier. She smiled bitterly. Then endure. Tavai Din kept chewing. Yes, endure. No tin Noyet rubbed her belly, waiting. Gurgle. Tavai Din's stomach growled again. She looked embarrassed. So hungry, I can't sleep. No tin Noyet whispered. Tavai Din thought, then asked. Cook some wild greens? Sizzle. Water boiled in the pot. Startled, she checked the sleepers, then relaxed. Tavai Din cleaned the greens, tore leaves, rinsed, then dropped them in. No meat, except it. No tin Noyet murmured, adding salt and oil, stirring gently. Gurgle. Her sister's belly growled again, chopsticks tapping impatiently. Wait a bit, must boil more. No tin Noyet calmly said, though starving too. Yes. Tavai Din swallowed, no longer aloof, like a foodie. Hee, if they knew we were sneaking food, they'd join. No tin Noyet teased. Soon she set the pot down. Tavai Din handed chopsticks, scooped greens, cooled them, then ate. Chewing twice, her brow furrowed, but she swallowed. She pursed her lips. You try too. All right. No tin Noyet took greens, blew, then ate. No NGO. She chewed, face wrinkling in disbelief. Swallow, or stay hungry. Tavai Din said calmly. Chapter 773, Claiming the Time Gift Pack. Not eating? Tavai Din picked another chopstick of wild vegetables, hesitated a bit, then stuffed it into her mouth. No tin Noyet curled her lips, bitterly said, Why is it so hard to eat? Tavai Din chewed while gently comforting, There are not many spices, so the taste is a bit strange. Too much of a failure. No tin Noyet smiled bitterly and shook her head, she often cooked yet could make such bad food. Slippery. Tavai Din stayed silent, chopsticks reaching into the iron pot, more than half of the vegetables went into her belly. Over 10 minutes later, the wild vegetables were gone, only some green soup remained. Hick. No tin Noyet covered her mouth burping, her mouth full of bitter wild vegetable taste, making others feel uncomfortable. Crunch. She hurried to put an olive in her mouth, chewing a few times felt better. The two once again fell silent, being full at night was rare, awkwardness came again. No tin Noyet could not help but yawn, had to continue chewing olives. Time passed slowly, while she waited for the stars and moon, the moon finally climbed the branch as expected. Finally, I will call Emong and the others to wake up. No tin Noyet stood up, stretched, then under Tavai Din's gaze, she gently pushed the Lu sisters who were still sleeping. Don't touch me. Lu Emong mumbled in sleep. Wake up, the sun is shining on your butt. No tin Noyet pouted, poked Lu Emong's butt. Ah. Then she quickly covered her mouth, blocking the scream. Louis Thursday also struggled to sit up. At this hour getting up was hard. Is it time? Lu Emong drowsily asked. Yes, next is your turn. No Tin No Yet nodded, sleepiness creeping in. Alright, you two sleep. Louis Mong stood up, body swaying, after a while fully awake. Okay. No Tin No Yet replied, lay down near So Fong, feeling safer. Tai Din added more wood to the fire, then lay down beside her. Vi Din, good night. No Tin No Yet yawned again, her voice soft with drowsiness. Less than 3 minutes later, both breathed steadily, already asleep. Should I massage you a bit to wake you up? Louis Thursday whispered. She stood and walked around the fire, trying to stay awake. Stop circling, watching you makes me sleepier. Louis Mong complained. Louis Thursday helplessly sat down, pouting, doing nothing. I am sleepy too. Then stand in horse stance. Louis Thursday suggested. Give me some. Louis Thursday reached out softly. Louis Mong generously shared half, here. Crunch. The two chewed olives watching the fire, sometimes adding wood to keep it burning. Gurgle. Louis Thursday's stomach growled, she embarrassedly covered it. Diarrhea or hunger? Louis Mong asked curiously. Louis Thursday sighed quietly, hunger, are you not? I am hungry too, that's why I eat olives. Louis Mong pouted, spit out the seed. Being hungry has no way. Louis Thursday pursed her lips, sighed. Louis Mong raised her head at the moon, annoyed, can only endure, wait until tomorrow morning. Time passed, they suddenly woke up. Go sleep. So Fong unknown when woke, saw the Lu sisters almost sleeping, bitterly smiled, if danger comes, you will be lunchbox. Ah, when did you wake up? Louis Mong quickly yawned, asked. Just now. So Fong gently said. Let's go. So Fong whispered. Please. Louis Thursday shyly said. Rest assured. So Fong smiled, not showing awkwardness. That made Louis Thursday confused, but soon she slept deeply. So Fong stretched, glanced at the sleeping girl, decided not to call her, guarding did not need to. Crackle. He added wood, then ordered in his mind, mark. Ding. Immediately, the familiar simulation screen appeared, the number 14 days lit up. The system voice sounded, ding, marked 7 days, received 1 primary gift pack. Ah, time to claim gifts again? So Fong was startled, counted carefully, not wrong. Today was his 222nd day in the wilderness, 7 months 12 days. Also the 224th. Consecutive system mark, closer to the 500-day pack. Time flies fast. So Fong thought, what good gift this time? He glanced at the girls, then ordered, open the primary pack. Ding, primary animal feather care experience pack. Ding, primary veterinary experience pack. 3 consecutive sounds came, so Fong was silent. Did the system want him to be a vet? Why were the gifts all about animals? He sighed, consoled himself, better than nothing. Actually he hoped for memory development pack, but luck was not with him. Chapter 774, Taking You on a Journey. Ding. Experience gift pack of internal parasite medicine crafting transmitted inside. In the next moment, he felt his head stuffed with massive knowledge, the familiar pain stretched for several minutes before fading. Am I mistaken? Why does the pain feel much lighter than before? So Fong rubbed his temples, murmuring doubtfully. He pondered for a while and guessed, could it be because my memory improved? He shook his head, swept away the chaotic thoughts, then organized the new knowledge. The experience pack contained much knowledge, divided into 2 categories, one for animals and another for humans, but both centered on parasite medicine. The texts explained in detail how to craft and use the medicine, and So Fong noticed that it also required various herbs. He glanced at the sleeping girls, muttering, I should find time to prepare some batches. He took a deep breath and commanded, open the next gift pack. Ding. Experience gift pack of animal feather care transmitted inside. The pain returned, but lasted less than a minute, and the knowledge filled his mind, only about 2 pages worth. So little? He was surprised, then calmed and sorted it out. After nearly 10 minutes, his lips twitched in silence. The knowledge only explained how to maintain animal fur and feathers, nothing else. Haze. He stayed quiet, then smiled bitterly. So I am turning into a pet caretaker? He sighed and focused on the next pack. Ding! Experience gift pack of veterinary knowledge transmitted inside. TCH. He inhaled sharply, his head struck by a heavy blow, painful and dizzy. A flood of knowledge poured in, images and clips playing endlessly. Such torment. He forced a bitter smile, trying to keep a calm face in front of surveillance. He then studied the new knowledge, all related to animals, from diseases, treatments, to medicine preparation. He researched for half an hour, roughly mastering it, but had no chance to apply it, so it became hidden skills. Ah! He yawned, overwhelmed by so much knowledge. Clack! He looked around, but aside from olive trees and wild greens, nothing edible appeared. If only there was a wild boar. He muttered. Crack! His ears twitched, he turned toward the forest behind, but danger did not trigger. After a while, the strange sound stopped. He turned back to the sleeping girls, hesitated, but did not investigate. Time passed, he sat against a tree, one side a sleeping girl, the other side stars no tin noyet and tavai din. I want meat, not wild greens. No tin noyet mumbled in sleep. Looks like she was not full. He smiled. Olive tree, one more fruit, the last one. At this time, Lu Waimong also muttered nonsense, sounding clear in the silent night. He shook his head in amusement. Addicted already? Clack! His stomach growled again, hunger grew stronger. Time to find some food. He rose softly, grabbed a firewood stick, and walked toward the earlier sound. Rustle! He pushed aside bushes and vines, brightened his eyes, scanning the ground covered in leaves, but no animals. Seems nothing here. He shifted his sight from forward to downward, then behind, but still found nothing. He sighed, unfolded the 3-dimensional map, instantly dizzy again. So Fong, what are you doing? A doubtful girl's voice came from behind. You woke up. He turned and saw the girl sitting, staring curiously. Just now. Van Han's voice was lazy but full of doubt. Cough cough, just went to relieve myself. He explained. Her face blushed, she glanced and said, You did not wake me this time, luckily before sleep I suggested myself to wake. That works too? He frowned, first time hearing that self-suggestion could wake one up. He glanced behind once more, then sat beside her, softly asking, You do not want to rest more? You can sleep, I will keep watch. It is fine, I want to sit quietly with you. Van Han tilted her head, gently spoke. He froze, then suddenly hugged her tightly, pulling her into his arms, because their time together was too little. Her face flushed, but her heart sweetened, leaning against him gave both safety and warmth. After the contest ends, I will take you traveling. He rested his chin on her head, gently said. Mechum, just the two of us. His voice was soft. She smiled, nodded, all right. So Fong. Her face flushed deeper, sensing something unusual behind. She shyly responded. After some time, the strange feeling faded, and she secretly breathed out. Later, her face reddened again, she whispered with embarrassment, So Fong, I want to relieve myself. Go then, I will go with you. He stood and spoke softly. Chapter 775, Falling Asleep and Receiving a Pillow. I will wait here for you, I do not want to go far. So Fong turned his back, raising his wrist to control the drone and standby. All right. Van Han softly answered, stepping into the dark forest for a few steps before sitting beside a bush. Rustle. So Fong pressed his lips, eyes fixed ahead, ears twitching to catch every sound around. After a while, the water flow stopped, replaced by rustling and the sound of clothes. All right, let us go back. Van Han blushed, head lowered as she spoke. Ahem, let us go. So Fong pulled the girl's hand to return. Grumble, grumble. The girl's stomach growled, the wild greens and stew from dinner had digested, with her appetite others could be full with 8 parts, but she only reached 4. Hungry? So Fong tilted his head with a smile. Van Han shyly nodded, a little. There are no animals here, otherwise we could cook a midnight snack. So Fong said regretfully, wishing for beasts or herbivores to appear as ingredients. Are you hungry? Van Han gently asked. So Fong smiled, a bit. Then I will cook some wild green soup. Van Han whispered. All right. So Fong nodded. They returned to camp. The girl took out the iron pot to prepare the soup. Why is it damp? Van Han muttered, then poured half a pot of water with a bamboo tube, preparing greens. Rustle. So Fong frowned, turned to the side, forehead tense, the 3-dimensional map rose in his mind, vision shifting. So Fong? Van Han called softly. She hesitated, then decisively grabbed the hatchet and rushed, but stopped after 2 steps. I cannot leave. Van Han looked at the Lu sisters sleeping, sighed, and stayed. Soon So Fong returned, carrying a small red wolf with its neck broken. A red wolf? Van Han's eyes lit. Yes, probably lost from its pack, only found this one. So Fong smiled, thanks to the spatial map he found it and rushed out. Since it was a pup, it posed no threat. Looks like tonight we will eat meat. Van Han laughed, took the red wolf and went to prepare it. Lucky, huh? So Fong grinned, indeed falling asleep and a pillow comes. The girl skillfully skinned, gutted, and cleaned the pup. So Fong sat down to help, working in harmony. They quickly finished. Season it then roast whole. So Fong suggested. Haha, later the girls will wake, cut some for soup, roast the rest. So Fong added with a smile, if not finished, we can have breakfast. Mum. Nan Runak woke first, wrinkled nose at blood scent, sat up groggy. She followed the smell, surprised to see So Fong and Van Han busy. She approached and asked, Van Han, what are you doing? Seasoning red wolf, roasting soon. Van Han smiled. Yes, So Fong caught it earlier. Van Han added, then asked, hungry? Wait to eat then sleep again. I, grumble, fine. Nan Runak wanted to refuse, but her belly spoke first. She looked up at the sky, just in time for her and her sister's watch. Van Han seasoned the wolf with wild ginger and salt, after 20 minutes skewered it and set it over the fire. Let me turn it. Nan Runak offered. All right, turn often, do not burn. Van Han instructed, then prepared soup with meat. Soon, aroma spread, fat dripping onto fire with sizzling. What smell? Lu Weimeng's sleepy voice came. She sat up rubbing eyes toward the fire. Delicious food smell. So Fong replied. Is there food? Lu Weimeng lit up, rushed over, asked in surprise, is that a red wolf pup? Did you catch it? Yes. So Fong shrugged. Lu Weimeng's eyes shone, smiling brightly, great, I was starving. Hee hee, wait until it is cooked. Van Han said softly. NK Books. No problem, I will handle it. Lu Weimeng took the stick from Nan Runak, turning it herself. After a while, she sniffed and rubbed hands, praising, so fragrant, I cannot resist. Lu Weimeng nodded, all right. So Fong chuckled, then focused around. The blood scent might attract predators or the wolf pack, so he had to be cautious. Grumble. Nan Runak's stomach growled again, she blushed. Looks like you are hungry too. Lu Weimeng teased, dinner was early, so it digested fast. Yes, everyone must be hungry, I just heard sister's stomach too. Nan Runak said. Chapter 776, Sister Trow. It smells so good, are you eating without me? No Tin Noyet asked with a stern yet delicate face. It is fine, we planned to wake you once the roast was ready. So Fong smiled and explained. Where did you get the meat, is it the steel claw? Nan Tan Nok asked in surprise. Yes, what else could it be? So Fong shrugged. So Fong, are you not afraid of drawing a red wolf pack? Nan Tan Nok worried. Relax, as many come as So Fong can cut down. Lu Waimong waved boldly. So Fong shook his head with a wry smile, exaggerated. If 100 red wolves came, he did not think he could handle it. Then I will wait here for meat. No Tin Noyet pulled Tai Din to sit aside, rubbing her hands while waiting for the roast. Moat Q Tam. Are you still hungry? Tai Din pursed her lips and whispered at her ear, Did you not eat wild greens before sleep? Just a little, all low fat, I have digested it already. No Tin Noyet replied calmly. Rumble. Clack, clack. The iron pot boiled over, meat and wild greens rolling together. The girl sprinkled more salt and vegetable oil, cooked a bit longer, then moved the pot to another fire. Have a bowl of wild green soup first to warm your stomach. Van Han ladled soup into clay bowls. Thanks. No Tin Noyet hurried up to receive it, giving So Fong first, then herself. Hoo. Lu Waimong turned the red wolf with one hand, held the bowl with the other, blew the steam, then sipped. So tasty. No Tin Noyet praised, suddenly thinking she had underestimated wild green soup before. One bowl each, not much, then we will have the roast. Van Han smiled, lowered her head, and sipped the hot soup to ease hunger. After more than 10 minutes, the red wolf was taken off the fire and set on a Y-shaped branch rack. The fragrance made everyone swallow. Van Han wiped her army blade clean and sliced the crisp golden meat from the carcass. Gulp. Someone swallowed first, then more gulps sounded one after another. Do not rush, there is for everyone. So Fong said, though he was also holding back, his stomach had protested long ago. Crunch. As So Fong was dividing meat, the girl already picked a piece, blew it, then slipped it into her mouth, her bite ringing crisp. The crust is perfectly crisp. Van Han's eyes lit up, this roast was a success. Crunch. The second share went to Nan Nu Nok, she bit and gasped in awe. I am doomed, midnight barbecue, tomorrow I will gain 3 gene. No Tin Noyet teased herself, then took a big bite without hesitation. Very good, with honey it would be better. So Fong finished sharing and tasted slowly. The wolf meat was tender, the skin crisp outside, inside soft and dripping with fat. With chili paste it would be even better. No Tin Noyet sucked the chopstick tip. She is not here now, would she call by satellite phone to scold me? No Tin Noyet did not care, to protect her skin she strictly avoided pungent and fishy foods, or acne would be trouble. Tai Din said evenly, she will scold you when we return. Then help me scold her back. No Tin Noyet half joked. Do you want to change assistants again? Tai Din spoke more than usual tonight. Ahem, that will not do, few are as attentive as Sister Trow. No Tin Noyet waved and laughed. Tai Din nodded in agreement, she also thought Sister Trow was formidable, and besides talent and background, Sister Trow's work counted much toward today's success. Who is Sister Trow? Van Han asked curiously, hearing the talk she must be someone impressive. My life assistant, agent, and driver. No Tin Noyet explained. I see, her experience must be long. Van Han said while popping more meat into her mouth. Ha ha ha, long lived, if she knew that she would cry. No Tin Noyet covered her mouth and snickered. Van Han was puzzled, why? She is only 25, not much older than us. Tai Din said softly. Ahem, Sister Trow, I meant no offense. Van Han hurried to apologize to the camera. Just joking, she would not mind. If she were that easy to anger, she would not be where she is now. No Tin Noyet waved and laughed. Van Han felt a bit embarrassed and even more curious about the so-called sister Trow. Hiccup. Lu Waimong burped without any image to keep grease at the corner of her mouth. TSK TSK TSK. Nan Nu Nok also sucked her fingers, her belly slightly bulged, clearly very full. So full, I overate. No Tin Noyet braced her hands on the ground and leaned back, her face full of satisfaction. Lying down right after a heavy meal slows digestion. If repeated, it can cause stomach illness. When the stomach has not processed food yet, lying down at once causes bloating and lowers digestive efficiency. The right way is to stroll gently after eating, like a short walk, then sleep after about half an hour, which aids absorption and reduces gastric risk. Soon you all can sleep. I will keep watch with Nu Nok. Nan Ton Nok said in a clear voice. At this hour it was past the watch shift of So Fong and the girl. Endure a little and dawn will come. So Fong looked east. It was still pitch black, but light would break soon. NK Better books. To nap a bit, or tomorrow we will lack spirit. Van Han said brightly, and she put away a third of the remaining wolf meat. Chapter 777, Alsafula Patafila Hook. Ah. Lu Waimong rubbed her full belly, satisfied and sleepy. Sleep a little more. She muttered, then sat back down. I will sleep too. If I do not, my skin will turn bad. No Tin Noyet patted her face, unwilling to return to the city. So Fong stroked the girl's hair, gently saying, sleep again, dark circles already appear. Yes. Van Han stifled a yawn and lay down. So Fong, you should sleep too. Nan Nu Nok softly spoke. All right, call me if anything happens, be safe. So Fong warned. The Nan sisters nodded, yes. So Fong smiled faintly, yawned, then lay beside the girl, arms around her waist, eyes closed. Nu Nok, are you tired? Nan Ton Nok asked. No, my spirit is fine. Nan Nu Nok smiled sweetly, dimples showing, and asked back, are you tired, sister? I am not sleepy. Nan Ton Nok shook her head. But it seems dawn is near. Nan Nu Nok nodded, looking east, where faint light pierced the night. Maybe 1 hour more. Nan Ton Nok pursed her lips, stood up, broke an olive branch and gave half to her sister. Crunch! Nan Nu Nok chewed, eyes watching the forest, still worried about beasts. Time passed slowly, the east grew brighter. After half an hour, the night was gone, but trees hid the sun. Should we wake them? Nan Nu Nok whispered. Let them sleep, still early. Nan Ton Nok placed a finger to her lips. Nan Nu Nok nodded, now drowsy. Do you want to nap? Nan Ton Nok asked. First, boil some water, when they wake they can drink warm. Nan Ton Nok set a pot on the fire, poured 1/3 water. Clink. Minutes later, water boiled. Nan Nu Nok set it aside to cool. When cooled, the girls woke. Aha! Van Han yawned, carefully sitting from So Fong's embrace. Ing. So Fong frowned, then opened his eyes. Good morning. Van Han smiled brightly. Ah. Lu Waimong awoke, yawned, waved. Then Lu Wai Thursday and No Tin Noyet also woke, washed faces, sat by the fire. Seems none slept enough. Van Han looked, everyone had dark circles. Eat something then sleep more, no training today. So Fong said softly. Great. Lu Waimong exclaimed. You look happy? So Fong frowned. Lu Waimong pouted, nothing, just regret. Please spare me. She pleaded pitifully. Ha ha ha. The girls laughed. Indeed, no morning practice, they ate last night's roast, packed belongings, prepared to return to the stream camp. Heavy. Lu Waimong carried the olive bag. Want me to help? Lu Wai Thursday asked. Lu Waimong waved, no, I am stronger. Lu Wai Thursday glanced, I only fear you will eat on the way. No, such a big bag cannot be finished. Lu Wai Mong rolled her eyes. Let's go back. So Fong carried bamboo basket, held a girl's hand, walked ahead. Yes. They replied in unison. After more than half an hour, they returned to the mound, stones still there. Okay. Van Han took the basket, lighter than before. So Fong squatted, carried 2 bags of stones. Leave this last bag to us. No Tin Noyet rubbed her hands, lifted 1 bag. Ah, we cannot compare with So Fong. 4 girls lifted 1 bag, while he lifted 2. Go. So Fong raised his chin, stepped forward. I will lead. Nan Nu Nok carried her bow ahead, clearing vines. Careful, do not slip. So Fong warned. We know. They answered. So Fong, there are wild greens, should we pick? Nan Nu Nok pointed. Eating a little is fine. She said innocently. It is not poison, but not what we usually eat. So Fong explained. Looks like Alsophylla podophylla hook. Lu Wai Thursday said. Yes, it is Alsophylla podophylla hook. So Fong smiled. Alsophylla podophylla hook, also called Jew, dragon bone phoenix, pen bronze tree, is a fern reproducing by spores. Not edible because poisonous? Nan Nu Nok asked. No, because it is a first-class nationally protected plant. So Fong said. Chapter 778, Lift Him Overhead. Yes, So Fong was right, this is a level 1 nationally protected plant. Lu Wai Thursday nodded attentively. Among more than 30,000 plants, only 8 are level 1 protected, and the cycad is one of them. Besides the cycad there are swamp cypress, silver fir, tongue tree, golden camellia, ginseng, Chinese fir, and the sky tree as level 1 protected species. Truly expands knowledge. The girls nodded. Then do not touch it. Nan Nu Nok thought. They continued forward, resting 3 times, and after more than 5 hours a small stream appeared. Finally here, I am exhausted. Lu Wai Mong panted. Hold on a little longer. Van Han encouraged. They followed the stream down a few hundred meters and found a thorn fence. We are here, I see it. Lu Wai Mong cried out. I will open the gate. Nan Nu Nok ran ahead with her bow. Creak, the gate opened, she stepped in carefully and saw nothing unusual. Strange, why is no one here, she whispered. So Fong entered the camp and scanned the yard, found nothing odd, then crossed the wooden bridge and set his sack down. Exhausting, even worse than basic training. Lu Wai Mong dropped her bag and sat on the steps. Van Han collapsed too, panting, yes, these sacks are heavy. I will boil some water for you. Nan Nu Nok went upstairs. Ah, a shout came from above. What is it? So Fong frowned, grabbed the railing and rushed up. He threw the door open and asked anxiously, Nu Nok, what happened? I am fine, it is just. Nan Nu Nok pointed to the shelves, items scattered across the floor, speechless. What happened? Nan Ton Nok ran in, then froze at the scene. The floor was chaotic, pottery smashed, oil spilled, and white clumps of powder which were pepper flour. What is this? Van Han's eyes reddened, more than half the supplies were missing from the shelves. They were stolen. So Fong's face darkened, not only the salted meat was gone but also more than half the salt and oil. How could this happen? Nan Ton Nok trembled in shock. Lu Wai Mong's smile vanished and anger filled her face. Whoever did this deserves 1,000 knives. They seem to have left, how could they come back, she wondered. I do not know. So Fong sighed, luckily the 2 iron pots remained, otherwise meals would be a problem. Do not let me find out who did it, I will lift him overhead. Lu Wai Mong ground her teeth. Oh no, my rabbits and deer. Van Han remembered and ran downstairs. The rabbit is still here, I saw it when I entered. So Fong reached to call her back, but she had already gone. Van Han stopped at the rabbit cage and saw the forest rabbits and pheasants hopping about, relieved that none were taken. 1, 2, 3, she counted and found none missing. Filled with doubt, she returned upstairs. We must wash with soapy water to clean it. So Fong said in a low voice. I will prepare it. Notan Noyet carried a basin carefully. Van Han stepped around the grease and approached So Fong, saying gloomily, the rabbits, pheasants, and the deer are safe. That is good. So Fong stroked her head and said, do not worry, I will handle the rest. Yes. Van Han calmed. So Fong kissed her forehead then said, you all check the losses, I will look outside. All right, be careful. Van Han blushed as she warned him. I know. He answered and went downstairs. If I find out who stole, I will break his legs. Lu Wai Mong ground her teeth. Lu Wai Thursday paused and guessed, it must be the two we chased off before. I think so too, but who exactly? Van Han frowned. Tai Vai Din spoke quietly, those two, you have met them. Ha? We met them? Van Han was stunned trying to recall. Lu Wai Thursday reacted quickly, could they be the Zhao brothers? It is them. Notan Noyet set down the basin, she and Tai Vai Din, as observers, already knew. You saw Zhao Lei and Zhao Loi at the small hill nearby, right? Van Han remembered. Yes, it was them. Notan Noyet glanced at the drone and lowered her voice, they had stolen before and were driven off, it was them again. Lu Wai Thursday sighed, then we must find where they are now. Chapter 779, One Glance That Scared Away. Didn't So Fong go out to search? Lu Wai Mong clenched her fists, eyes blazing like ready to fight. Lu Wai Thursday coughed softly and reminded, mind your image, be more ladylike. What use is that? The meat was stolen, I must break their legs. Lu Wai Mong bit her lip and shouted. Behaving like this, no one will marry you. Lu Wai Thursday sighed helplessly. Lu Wai Mong twitched her mouth, those words sounded so familiar. She muttered, then I just won't marry. First, clean up the things on the ground. She sighed, using a cloth soaked in soap water to wipe the floor. 2 ceramic jars fell, 4 clay bowls broke, 1 bottle of oil spilled. Van Han listed the losses, her face growing darker. Speaking of which, where is Ro Rang? Van Han looked worried, she had not seen it since returning. Lu Wai Thursday guessed, maybe it ran off to laze around. Hopefully. Van Han turned her head toward the beam, Mao Ka still lay quietly there. So troublesome, the oil seeped into cracks, soap water cannot clean well. Lu Wai Mong panted with frustration. We can only wipe several times. Lu Wai Thursday sighed again, washed the cloth and kept scrubbing the cement floor. While cleaning, Lu Wai Mong suddenly shouted, no meat, what do we eat today? Wait until So Fong returns, maybe he brings back salted meat. Van Han smiled bitterly, but it was indeed a problem. What if he cannot bring it back? Lu Wai Mong asked. Van Han spread her hands, then we eat rabbits. Lu Wai Mong froze, then licked her lips and whispered, that's good too. Lu Wai Thursday was utterly speechless at her gluttonous sister. Elsewhere, So Fong crossed thorns into the forest, traces on the ground were scarce, mostly old hunting marks with Lu Wai Mong, tracking was difficult. Rustling sound. So Fong crouched, parted weeds, saw only half a footprint, belonging to a man. He went further, signs grew fewer until gone. Ahead was a rocky field, no trace could be left. I don't believe it. He searched carefully, finally only smiled bitterly, no footprint found. After more than one watch, he returned to the yard, closed the gate. Van Han poked her head from the window, asking, So Fong, you are back, did you find anything? Hard to explain. He shook his head bitterly and went upstairs. Couldn't find? Van Han pursed her lips, turned to the door. Creak. The door opened, So Fong entered. The wooden house was clean, the ground wiped, but half the shelf was empty. So Fong, how is it? Lu Waimong hurriedly asked. Couldn't find. He shook his head. Couldn't
books.
find. Their faces were full of disappointment, the room turned silent. Creak creak. Ro rang. Everyone perked up, hurried downstairs. Creak creak. Ro rang, where did you go? Come down. So Fong frowned and called. Creak creak. The bird tilted its head at him, eyes doubtful, then flew down before him. Where did you go? His voice was calm. Creak creak. The bird glared, spreading wings as if protesting. So Fong's mouth twitched, he understood, shameless, you didn't return yesterday, today I had to look for food. More complaints followed. So Fong, can you understand it? Van Han asked curiously. No Tin Noyet also wondered, yes, why does it seem you are talking with it? Cough cough, I don't understand. He coughed, denying. Lu Waimong snapped, then why chat so happily? Creak creak. The bird tilted its head, as if asking, why pretend? You still dare, the meat was stolen, you have not eaten for days, go hunt yourself. So Fong frowned and spoke through thought. Creak creak. The bird froze, meat all stolen? Nonsense, why else would I find you? He glared. Creak creak. The bird flapped, circled once, then left the camp. Don't worry, it's fine. So Fong patted the girl's shoulder. It left not to escape but to find the thieves, hoping to retrieve the salted meat. Nan Nunak gently said, So Fong, it seemed afraid of you, just one glare and it flew. In her eyes, he stared all the time, finally. With one look drove it away. Of course afraid, he once subdued it with one move, would you not fear? Lu Waimong teased. Impressive. Nan Nunak praised. So what now, let those two thieves get away? Lu Waimong grew angry remembering the Zhao brothers. Two thieves? So Fong frowned. He pondered then nodded, listening to you, it could be them. I suspect them too. Lu Waimong huffed. Chapter 780, Winning the Hope of Competition. For now it does not matter if we cannot find them, just do not let us meet again, or else. In So Fong's eyes flashed a cold light. Will the meal be late for Rabbit? Lu Waimong pressed her lips, glanced at the girl and then at So Fong. So Fong smiled helplessly and said, Yes, they offered themselves, just wait. I will catch it. Lu Waimong rolled up her sleeves and went downstairs. Haze. Lu Wai Thursday shook her head, remembering how her sister once called rabbits too cute to eat, now she was the one craving them. Nan Nunak pressed her lips, then followed down. So Fong, we are poor again. Van Han held his hand, voice sad. Be good, tomorrow we will hunt. He sighed, patting her head gently. It can only be like this. Van Han forced a smile, otherwise there will be no rabbit to eat. Then catch more. He smiled. Cough cough, dog food spilled everywhere. No Tin Noyet cleared her throat. I will help Sister Mong handle the rabbit. Van Han blushed, let go of his hand, and ran. He laughed, looking at No Tin Noyet and Tai Vai Din. When did I say to spare them? He frowned coldly, next time we meet. Fine, I understand. No Tin Noyet waved, chin tilted at the camera. I know. He replied warmly. Then he turned to Tai Vai Din, postpone training, tomorrow we must hunt. Hunt? I will go too. Her eyes brightened. Tai Vai Din said sincerely, I will also go. I can hunt. Nan Tan Nok spoke firmly. If all go, who guards the camp? He sighed. Wai Mong and the others are still here. No Tin Noyet said. Do you think she wants to stay? He asked back. With her temper, unlikely. She admitted, then added, what about Van Han, Nunak, why Thursday? They cannot defend, cannot shoot, if enemies come, what then? He spread his arms. Tai Din frowned, then calmly, I will stay. Good. He nodded. So it is decided. No Tin Noyet clapped cheerfully. He nodded and turned to the window, staring at the thorn fence. Elsewhere, half a day away, the True brothers sat smiling. This time is real, so much meat can last us 1 month. True Loy laughed, pointing to 2 sacks full of salted meat. And eat every day. True Loy grinned. Yes, so smooth, that damned bird was absent. After his recovery, they first went to his camp for intel, but found no one there. Even oil and salt. True Loy was amazed. Next time take it all. He laughed, greedy. Too bad for rabbits and pheasants. True Loy shook his head. In fact, they had taken all the salted meat, jams, dried seafood, and a jar of oil. For safety, they chose not to be too greedy, and quickly carried meat and oil away. I will cook dinner. True Loy pulled meat, salt, and oil. Should we move further? True Loy asked. True Loy paused, afraid they come back? Better safe than sorry. He said. Makes sense. He nodded. Then we move further. Tomorrow? True Loy asked. What else, it is dark now. He retorted. Hoof. True Loy gritted teeth, dropped it. Long time without meat, I look forward. True Loy cut a chunk, unbothered. In the live room, comments poured. Shameless, stealing meat so brazenly. The show did not forbid stealing, nothing unusual. Trash of society, eye-opening. Grill some clams, looks good. True Loy said. Grill, eat tonight. True Loy pointed. Haha, meat until full. True Loy laughed. Eat, big pieces. True Loy laughed, seeing hope of victory in competition.